I'm going to start a new tutorial like right here, because this is going to be a mini separate tutorial on how you can get your Panasonic battery chip to work with your modified battery grip, because there's an issue. I did not have the issue with my GX8 and its battery that I used, but with the battery I used that you just saw me tear apart, its chip would not work. And I've had people on my GX8 tutorial tell me that their battery chip, and some of them tried 3 different battery companies and their chips weren't working. Mine worked, so I was like, I heard I didn't know what to tell them because mine worked. But when I started doing this, I said, ooh, people were having problems, and that enlightened me to the fact that I need to, when I had this issue, I remembered people had that issue. So now that I have the issue on this, I found the issue, and you guys are going to like this here. So this is a new tutorial within this tutorial that I'm going to have separate, because people won't want to watch this whole thing for the GX8. So keep that in mind, and we're going to keep going here, and I'll show you what I did to fix that. Here's the chip. Now, depending on your battery, your chip is going to look different, unfortunately. If it looks the same, it's going to be easy, but at least I'm going to show you how to find it and what I did. Because this is a separate tutorial, I'm going to tell you what happens is when you do the modification in the fake battery and you put your battery on and you turn the camera on, you get nothing, black. And even though I went through, tested all the electronics, everything showed that it worked, except when I had all this wired up, all the 7.8 volts was going everywhere, even to the battery board here, but it wasn't going to the camera. And so I knew all my connections were right, and that something from here, going along all this here to here, something in this was not working correctly. So I don't know how far I should go with this, but I guess I'll say it here. If I have to refer to this, I will. So if you put a battery, once all this is connected with your batteries, maybe I keep going, it'll make more sense. So let's keep that in mind, and I might edit this for that other tutorial, but trying to figure out, okay, we can do this also here, because you're going to need to do it for this, but also for the little mini tutorial. Here is the battery chip that wasn't working for me and has not been working for a lot of you guys. And you can see I have this is for the GX85 folks, if you're watching here. These are the 3 pins, and we've got this pin here going to the hot or plus, and this pin here is being over here to the negative. And in order to find the issue why this wasn't working, I put the multimeter, put it on 9 volt, and put your red multimeter, your red multimeter thing here, and you're going to see that it's going to show 0. And then what I did is I just started touching different parts to find out which component was killing the voltage. And the issue, this is a strange issue too. I'm going to have to interrupt this to show you that just so you guys know that you're getting the same results. I'm going to just take this off to show you guys this, so I don't have to just show photos all the time. I put when this was finished like this, I put a red wire coming out and a black wire coming out, so that I can test the voltage of the batteries that I don't know where they are now, but there's one in there like that. Once they were in there, I tested the multimeter, and power was going right here, okay? Then when I took this dummy battery out after it was finished, I would put it right like this, scratch those red cable thingies. I put it like this. I would test the top with the multimeter, and it read 7 point whatever volts. Cool. So I would put it in the camera. I would put the camera on, and it wouldn't turn on. I would take this back out. I would put this back on, and I would test it, and it would show 0 volts. So I was like, what the heck? And I just tried everything, and then I made sure this was good, and it was good. And then I would put a regular battery in here. That was good. Everything was good except this. So the conclusion was there's like a little memory something in here. When you connect the camera to this, the camera tells this chip like, hey, don't even work. So when you put it back on here, it doesn't work. But when this sat around for a while and I said, oh, what's wrong? There's voltage. So it would come and go. So I determined that the camera tells this chip to shut down and it doesn't work. So what I ended up doing, just to see if that's true, we'll just stick with this one. I took a little piece of metal and I started shortening everything out just by dragging a piece of wire on all these things to short it out. And sure enough, every time I shorted, you're going to see that this is missing right now, because if we go back to, you can see this piece here, this was already missing. This is what it looks like with unmodified. And what I did was I raked the side of these with metal, and I put it back on, and sure enough, the battery would test positive. I would put it back, test it positive, take it off, put it in the camera, put it on, 0, put it back, nothing. I would rake those with a little metal to short them out, and I would get power, put it in the camera. So the camera is telling this don't work. So, sorry guys, this is confusing. So once I found out that this chip was telling the whole thing not to work, I had to get rid of it. So I did. I got rid of it, as you can see right here. I just soldered it and popped it off. And you can see that these are all soldered together. Excuse me. These are all soldered together here. But you can see there's nothing else bridged here. Once I took that off and I did the test, it was only showing, I think, 6 volts. And I'm like, why did it go 6 volts? So there must be a resistor here causing the problem. And sure enough, this resistor was causing the problem. So when I got rid of that resistor, you can see this is mangled because I was trying stuff. Once I took that resistor off and I put the red multimeter here and the black one over here, sure enough, it went all the way through as 7 whatever volts. So we were good. So you got to get rid of this. And whoops, and which one? That one's already missing. Where's that? Yeah, that one's already missing, and so is that. You have to get rid of this and that. Now, if your circuit board is different than mine, it's, you're going to have to test it. You're going to have to put your multimeter red here, and you just have to touch. You can see it goes along the line here. You're just going to have to keep saying you 7 volts, 7 volts, 7 volts, 7 volts. And whatever component you get to and it doesn't say 7 volts no more, you're going to know it's one of those components. And I must say, do this at your own risk, because, I can't help you if it's different, but that's how I found out. Oh, okay. So let's get back into the build. I think that's it for this tutorial.